I'm Stassi Schroeder from Bravo's Vanderpump Rules.
Someone's gonna end up in jail.
You don't give a about anyone but yourself.
My life might look glam on the outside, but my skin condition, more often than not, makes me want to hide.
Stassi from Bravo's reality show Vanderpump Rules joins us now.
Welcome. Are you having fun or what?
So much fun.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen clips of your show before, and it seems like you all, if I can say, rebel rousers. There's a lot of activity going on, but I'm glad you're here today because, well, and psoriasis affects 7.5 million people. It's very common.
People, yeah, it's a very common chronic autoimmune skin disease, and what it does is it actually is speeding up the cell turnover and the cycling of your cells, so you get this red, scaly, itchy, burning plaques. And I think it can be super frustrating for my patients, and obviously it sounds like it's very frustrating for you because there's no cure for it.
That's the thing, because I've been to so many different doctors, and I feel like I'm told different things all the time, and there isn't one answer.
There isn't one answer because there is a whole armamentarium of tools that we use, but the thing I always try to tell people is we can maintain this. We can make it better, we can handle the itching, we can handle the redness, we can make you feel much better than it sounds like you're feeling. So tell me, what have you tried? What therapies have you used?
Mainly, what's the steroid creams? Because I had it all on my back. Having it on my face was the worst. That is super not fun. So especially, and that's not even when it was at its worst. And I've noticed that it gets bad when I'm stressed, and that's something I actually wanted to ask you about.
Well, you're right. So stress definitely makes psoriasis and many skin conditions worse. And then there are other things too, like dietary influences. I know you had asked previously about red wine.
Yeah,
we see
because
that.
I'm telling you, every time I have red wine at night, I wake up the next morning and I feel like a flare-up is gonna come.
Maybe time to switch to white.
It sounds like, especially because sometimes it's hard to get steroid creams into the scalp. It can be messy, it can be really inconvenient. There are definitely newer treatments. There's a pill called Otezla that doesn't suppress your immune system, that's very effective in terms of controlling the plaques of psoriasis. There are injectable medicines that work very well. If you're comfortable with that, they tend to have more side effects that can suppress your immune system. We think about vitamin D, both topically. It really does help stabilize the cell turnover. And then if you're someone who really doesn't want to take a lot of medications, there's even UV light therapy.
Something like that, I would be very interested in.
And so it just takes a commitment. It's one of those things that if you do it consistently several times a week or 2 to 3 times a week, it can really cut down on the inflammation, so it controls the symptoms, but also for you cosmetically, it would get rid of some of the redness in the scale.
Amazing.
So many conditions in medicine that don't have a cure, but that doesn't mean you can't manage it. And it doesn't have to dominate your life. And I imagine even being on a reality show where you're on TV all the time, that doubles the anxiety surrounding it.
Last year was the worst because I just felt like it was a really hard summer. It was like a rock bottom moment for me, and it came out on my face. And I'm like, how am I gonna film this? How am I gonna film this? Because it's like you feel really ugly. You wake up and you feel very unattractive.
No, it is hard. I think sometimes when people hear about skin conditions, they do just think, oh, it's a very superficial thing and you're being vain if it concerns you, but they have a tremendous impact on quality of life. They absolutely affect your self-esteem. And it's not a small thing to wake up and feel like you don't feel comfortable going out and showing yourself.
Given that there's no cure, I mean, you should look at all the options and figure out which option works best for you in terms of keeping it at bay and fit your lifestyle.
And as a patient who's gone to Dr. Batra's office, I have to give it 2 thumbs up. I think you guys should have some more conversations. That's my humble take on this. Stassi, thanks so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. We'll be right back, everyone.